Well, now, after a turbulent week, which has seen parts of the Liberal Democrat Party virtually at war with each other over the Lord Rennard saga, their leader, Nick Clegg, is taking what must be a welcome break at the World Economic Forum in Davos. He has so far refused to give this programme an interview about the Rennard affair, but Faisal Islam did manage to catch up with him on the street earlier today.
Are you glad that we, Channel 4 News, exposed this, or would you rather it was brushed under the carpet?
Well, of course not. It's terribly important that where things go wrong and where distress has been caused, that's properly looked into, that due process is followed, and that in this case, where a recommendation is made that an apology should be issued, that apology should indeed be issued. But the thing I would stress is that, of course, I understand that people, might want to short-circuit due process, but you can't.
Well, Mr. Clegg is also having to confront another possible sexual harassment scandal within his party. The Lib Dems are accused of being slow to act on claims that the MP and councillor for Portsmouth South, Mike Hancock, made inappropriate sexual advances to a vulnerable constituent. Last night, and 3 years after the allegation when the allegations were first made against Mr. Hancock, he was finally suspended from the Liberal Democrats. Mr. Hancock denies the allegations against him. Our political editor, Gary Gibbon, is in Westminster. So what questions are being asked about how Nick Clegg has handled these allegations against Mike Hancock?
Well, you can imagine people are looking at the two cases of Lord Rennard and Mike Hancock and seeing some similarities. Critics are saying, here's a party that drags its heels, doesn't act when there are complaints from women against Lib Dem parliamentarians. What the leadership say is that they have behaved impeccably. The problem is, though, they say, that when they start an investigation, they always have to be careful, mindful that a superior process is not interrupted. So it could be a police investigation, a court case, or the actual investigation itself has to take place before someone is expelled from the party or action is taken. And they say that gives the impression that they drag their heels, but they insist they absolutely don't. And what one senior Lib Dem said to me, though, just now, was that we're a party that seems to handle things but not deal with them. I think there's an awful lot of people in the Lib Dems who are still sort of scrunched up with embarrassment, excruciating embarrassment at the last few weeks.
Well, now, the Rennard case has taken a year. How long is this one going to take?
They're not going to get it off their in-tray that quickly. There was effectively, when Mike Hancock was suspended yesterday, an investigation procedure that is meant to start. But it won't start because there is an outstanding civil action still to come to court from the woman who complained about his behaviour. That doesn't come to court until July. So in that old cliche of drawing a line under the matter, it doesn't look as though that line will be drawn for some time.
Now, what about Lord Rennard? I mean, is there any conceivable chance that he may be about to apologise?
Well, if the Lib Dems were looking for any signs, glimmers of hope on that, the one thing that gave them any hope was the silence that echoed over the whole Rennard affair today. There was effectively a behind-the-scenes agreed media ceasefire by the two sides. It's hoped that in that space that's given, tempers can calm down, people can become less entrenched, and maybe they can come up with a solution. But remember, the solution they're looking for is for Lord Rennard to come up with a form of words which sounds like to the complainants, in his case, like an apology, but doesn't feel to him like an apology. Even as you state that, you can see that is quite a conundrum to solve.